All right, so cameras on, please. So we are going to be discussing planning your dream. So we are 3 to 4 weeks in, and we are discussing something that is extremely important in our business, which is planning. And when we spoke about planning in Dream Builder, we specifically spoke about the business plan itself, the parts of the business plan or the sections of the business plan, and being able to identify what goes into each section. So we're going to briefly review this, and then we're going to go into the planned activity for the evening. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to do this together. Okay, please let me know when you can see the screen and then we will proceed. Can you all see the screen?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so we're going to take a look at each of those sections, review what they are, and then we're going to move on. So first of all, how many sections do we have in the business plan from Dream Builder? How many?
7.
7 sections. Okay, so let's learn about each section. Let's recap about each section.
Management is the act of getting people together to complete a goal or task. In the management section of your business plan, you'll describe the kinds of people you will need to help you run your business. You'll describe the skills these people will need to have, and you'll explain how you will supervise these people. At first, you may be doing a lot of work by yourself, but as your business grows, you'll have to bring in people who can help you do things. Sometimes the people you bring in will be able to do certain things better than you can do them yourself. And these people can certainly assist you as your business grows. Select Return to go back to the table of contents.
Before we go any further, I want to ask a question to the class. When thinking about hiring for your business, and these are specifically for those of you who do plan to hire employees at some point, would you consider, or do you know that it is in your businesses and by extension your best interest to hire people that are actually doing things better than you? Are you aware of that?
Yes, true.
Yes.
And unfortunately, because people are so competitive, they have this stigma where they will say that they don't want anybody coming into their business that is better at them in something, because they're afraid that either this person will become insubordinate or the person might try to steal or take over from them. Let me just say that a good leader, a good business person, a professional businesswoman knows her strengths and her weaknesses. In the previous module, you would have learned the strengths and weaknesses of your competitors. But do you know that your strengths and weaknesses actually play a part in your own business and the way you run it? If you are weak in certain areas, it is in your best interest, and the onus is on you and your business to find persons that have the strength to where you are weak and bring them on as members of your team. Of course, you have to do your due diligence of processing these persons first, but you must always ensure that you have the strongest assets in your team. Okay, but some of us, especially women, we tend to get very competitive and protective, and we think that everybody's wanting to steal. But if you put the right measures in place, ladies, we will not need to fear. Okay, let's move on.
Marketing is telling the story of your product or service. The story of your product or service is a story that lets people know how good it is and where they can go to buy it. Marketing is critical to your success, so you will need to put some time and energy into crafting your story. In the marketing section of your business plan, you'll also think about how you can best serve your customers. Providing good customer service is very important if you want your business to grow. While much of your initial time and energy will be spent trying to get customers, it's important to think about what you're going to do to keep your customers coming back. Select Return to go back to the table of contents.
Okay, and before I return, I want to pause a little bit here. So you would have seen what marketing entails, right? Telling the story of your business. Via what? What channels do we use? Who can tell me?
Products and service.
Now listen to the question. Telling the story of your business via what? How do we do that? How do we communicate the story of our business?
Social media, newspapers,
Advertising.
magazines.
Word of mouth.
Right, exactly. Social media and those channels. Now, if you as a businesswoman are not strong in social media, what do?
You hire an expert to market.
You hire an
to
expert,
promote.
that's one option. What's another option?
Learn.
You learn. Very good. So these are the two options that you have. You either learn to do it yourself, where you take courses, you get certified if that's the case, so that it becomes something that you're added to yourself in terms of knowledge, and that also adds value to your business. If you cannot do it, or if you decide off the bat that this is not something I have time for, then you hire a professional to do it. And thankfully, we do have a few marketing professionals here in this call. Okay? That is what they are there to do, to market and to help tell the story of your business via social media and various channels directed at your specific target market to ensure you get results. Okay? So you must invest time, effort, and money into this part of your business. Okay? It's not something to be done haphazardly. It has to be part of your plan. Okay, let's move on.
In the product or service section of your business plan, you'll explain how you're going to make your product or deliver your service. If you're making a product, you'll want to think about the different ingredients or materials that you need. For example, if you are planning to start a business that sells homemade soaps, you will need to describe the different types of soaps you are going to sell. You will also need to list the ingredients that are used in the soaps and the types of equipment needed to make it. And you will want to list the hours during which your soaps will be available for sale. If you're delivering a service, you'll need to describe the things that are included as part of your service. For example, a childcare service may include activities and meals. Select Return to go back to the table of contents.
So let's pause here briefly. So we're talking about here, straightforward products or services. So if you are selling or you plan to sell products or a product, don't you think people will want to know what it contains? Don't you think persons want to know what the ingredients are? Can anybody tell me why these pieces of information are very, very important? Can anybody tell me?
Miss, can you ask the question again?
For regulation purposes.
For regulation purposes, for the benefit of the one who asked me, can I repeat? What I was saying is that when you're dealing with a product or products, it is very important to list what it contains or what the ingredients are. And can you tell me the reason why that is very important? And
If persons have allergies,
Allergies,
dietary restrictions.
Exactly. Because you want to ensure that you communicate to your customers or your potential customers what your products contain. So if in case there is an allergy, that person will know, oh, I can't use this because if I do, something bad will happen to me. But if you do not put that on your product and someone buys this and they use it and they get a reaction and it has them to react negatively, you will be held liable for that because you did not communicate or label your product. Okay? Now let's look at a service. When you are providing or planning to provide a service, wouldn't you want to describe what your service is and how it is delivered? Because people will want to understand what it is that you offer. Why would I pay for something that I don't even know how it works? So if you are providing a service, you must have a description of your service. It could be a synopsis. It could be something that specifies what it is that you provide in terms of your service, the types of services you offer, for who is the service specified for your target market, because of course you cannot appeal to everybody. And also, how can persons reach you? Do you provide your service at an office? Do people have to book an appointment? Can they find you online and just walk in? Do you only do appointments only? You have to communicate that information to your target market. Okay, let's go to the next one.
In your operating plan, you'll document your plan for running your business on a day-to-day basis. Among other things, you can talk about the physical location of your business, the people or resources that you'll need to help you, and any special equipment that you'll need. Select Return to go back to the table of contents.
Okay, so your operating plan, again, has all to do with your operations. How does the business plan to function, right? If you are creating products, what should your operating section of your plan entail or should include? Can anybody tell me?
The equipment that you use for your product.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
The equipment that you use for your product.
Very good. The equipment that you use to create the products. And of course, the price of that equipment. And where can you get that equipment? As in the supplier. Okay? Or the parts for that equipment, if in case it breaks down or it needs maintenance. These are things that it must be included in the operating plan. What if you're providing a service? What two types of information would you find in the operating section if you're providing a service?
Operating hours.
Your hours of operation. One other thing.
Location.
Location, very good. So persons, of course, have to know where your business is. If it's remote, that's a location. That's online. If it's in a physical business place, that's a location. And also the times, your operational hours. I'm open from this time to that time, or I'm available from this time to that time, and I'm closed on those days. That's part of your operational plan. Okay, let's go to the next one.
The finance section of your business plan is the numbers section. As you work through the Dream Builder course, you'll start to get a sense of how much it will cost you to start your business and how much it will cost you to deliver your product or service. You will try to predict how much money you will make in the first year or two that your business is running. The finance section is one of the later sections of your business plan because many of your costs are determined by other information, such as the type of product or service you're offering, the amount of marketing you need to do, and the number of people you need to help you run your business. Select Return to go back to the table of contents.
Okay, that of course is self-explanatory. That's the latter part of your plan. And of course you heard why. You have to ensure that all costs are considered before you put those figures in there. Everything has a cost. So you have to account for it so that you will know how much money you need to start or to keep maintaining your business. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
The
Miss,
action
before you
plan
move
is one of
on-
the final sections of your business.
Yes,
Before you move on for the financials, let's say you started your business before COVID. So since COVID hit, what if your financials change drastically? We must revisit the financial plan and redo it in order to suit the times.
yes. That is why a business plan is considered a living document. It's not something that you just do before you start and then you put it aside. Your business plan will always change. As a matter of fact, there are the finance, well, I shouldn't be telling you what they are, but the sections in your plan will change with circumstances that happen in your business, whether it is within your business itself, or whether it is externally outside of your business, and that impacts your customers and your clientele, it will definitely change. So even if you already have a business plan, you will need to revisit it and make adjustments. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
let's continue.
Your business plan. In this section, you'll document the steps that you need to take to implement your plan and turn your dream into a reality. Select Return to go back to the table of contents.
This again is self-explanatory. You, at the end of the training program, that is your 13 modules of Dream Builder, you will be able to open up your action plan, an actual document, a template that you will be able to map out your goals upon completion. And these goals will form part of your business plan. What are the steps that you plan to take now that you have this knowledge? Now that you've filled in the information, you have all the details for each of the sections. What do you do next? What milestones do you want to hit? And this is a document that you will be using when you go through your mentorship program. Okay, so keep that in mind. Let's move on.
The final section of your business plan is the appendix. This section is like a mini library. It holds all of the supporting documents in a clear, well-organized fashion. The supporting documents include things like marketing materials, contracts, and financial statements. Anytime we're talking about one of these supporting documents, the little paperclip icon at the bottom of your screen will light up. This lets you know there is a template attached to the page. You can use the template to create the supporting document. You'll be able to download the template immediately by selecting the paperclip icon. Select Return to go back to the table of contents.
Okay, so again, self-explanatory. In this particular case, you have this icon. Whenever you go through each of the modules in Dream Builder, you will see this paperclip icon. It will be highlighted. In other words, you'll be able to download and open up whatever template that is related to the topic or the module you've just completed. So for example, the previous assignment you did with market research, that template came from this section here, the appendix. Okay, I shouldn't say the appendix, but from your paperclip icon, I clicked on this and this was the template that was produced and this is what was placed into the assignment for you to complete. Just letting you know, all of the accompanying documents that you'll be opening up during Dream Builder and entering information, you will have access to these documents towards the end of the course after you've completed it. You'll be able to download all of these documents and use that with your business plan. Okay, so these are the sections of your business plan. And we, of course, are going to move on to our activity for the evening. But before I do so, someone wants to say hello to you, ladies.
Hello, good evening, ladies. I am Michelle Samuel's daughter. My name is Keisha Louise. I am 13 and I am in Form 2 and I attend Delian High School. I pray that all of you are able to meet your goals and your dreams and your desires in life, and good luck to all of you. Okay.
So yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
yeah. So she just wanted to share a few words of encouragement to all of you. She's been hearing me, having these sessions in the evening. She's been in her room, but tonight she just felt the need to come out and say something to you. So I appreciate her for saying that. It was not something that I asked her to do. She did it of her own accord, right? Okay, so it is 8:55. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to, of course, give you a few instructions so that you are prepared when the time comes. We are going for break at 9, and we're coming back in 15 minutes time, which is 9:15. So just so the team leaders know what they're doing, I want to ensure that this is working even before we get to that point, because I want to avoid any glitches and delays. So for the team leaders, we have 5 teams. Can you please type in your name if you are a leader or a team leader, because I need to know who will be registering and who will be playing or answering the questions on behalf of their teams. So type in your name in the chat if you are a team leader. We have 5 teams. Each team has 3 individuals or 3 ladies. So only the team members type in your name into the chat, please, so I can take note of who you are. And I will be giving you the instructions on what to do for the quiz. Okay, so we have Siobhan. Siobhan, please indicate which team you're representing. Anita. Yakima. Okay, Siobhan, you're with team 3. Okay, Anita, which team are you representing? Emanuela, which team are you representing? Yakima is team 4. Let's see, Vernon. Vernon, which team are you representing? There's team 1, 2, 3, and 4. So which team are you representing? Yakima is the outliers. Yakima, the outliers. Emanuela is Girl Planet. Team Girl Planet. Yakima, team 4 is Outliers. Emanuela. Vernon is Rise Above. That's the name of the team, Vernon? The name of the team? Empower, okay. So Team Empower. Anita, still waiting on the name of your team. And Siobhan, still waiting on the name of your team. Anita, that looks like the name for the project. I need the name of for the team. Emanuela, I have yours. Yakima, I have yours. Siobhan is the Esther's, okay. Okay, so still waiting on Anita for the team name. Waiting on the team name from Anita. Okay, so it is 9 o'clock. So everyone except the team leaders, you can go for break. Just put off, sorry, just turn off your camera, remain muted. and you can go for your break. The team leaders, please remain in the chat. So team power, okay? So the name of the team is Power. All right, so Vernon, Chevron, Anita, Yakima, and Emanuela, please stay on. All right, Brittany, you can go ahead and turn off your camera and we'll go for break. Okay, so the 5 of you, what I need you to do for me, you need to have a device that can open up this separate screen. I will copy the link and paste it again. It will ask you for a PIN, and I will give you the PIN when the time is right. But this is the link that you need to ensure that you have open in a separate browser. I'm going to send it to you individually. You need to have it open in a separate browser. And what is going to happen is that when I share the game on my screen, everybody will be able to see when you enter or choose your options. It's going to tally at the end after each question. And that is going to be Kahoot. That is the name of it. You don't actually need an account to play that game. An account is not necessary. As long as you have the PIN, you will be able to play the game. Okay, it is a timed game, so each question has 20 seconds on the clock. And you'll be responsible for selecting the responses on behalf of your team. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm missing one person. So Yakima. Okay, so please let me know that you're able to open this browser up before you go to your break. Just confirm, please, that you're able to open it up.
I was able to open mine. This is enter PIN.
Okay, Chevron. So you just leave that screen open, and when the time is right, I will share the PIN with you. Okay?
All right, thanks.
All right, you can go for your break. Just waiting for the other ladies to confirm. Okay, Vernon, you can go for break. Yakima, you as well, you can go for your break. Anita, you can go for your break. Okay, Manuela, you can go for your break. Okay, ladies, we are back from our break, and now we are going to go into our learning activity for tonight. So we are going to be talking about planning and plans. Again, planning and plans. So I will be reading to you, and of course, I will let you know what to take down for your notes. Okay? So planning entails, oh, and please listen carefully to the details. Okay? So from now, I will tell you, you can start taking notes. All right? So planning entails deciding how. Planning entails deciding how. One more time. Planning entails deciding how the predetermined objectives, of a business, or of a section, or of a section or department of it, comma, or department of it, comma, should be achieved. Should be achieved. Should be achieved in the most efficient, and economic way, in accordance with policy, full stop. In accordance with policy, full stop. In accordance with policy, full stop. This is not something that is being read off of a screen. This is from a book that I have, so I cannot copy and paste. Okay. Next line. Plans are really quote, routes to objectives. Quote, routes to objectives, unquote. Now the routes that I have here is ROUTES. Routes to objectives, unquote. So I'm going to read this back. Planning entails deciding how the predetermined objectives of a business or of a section or department of it should be achieved in the most efficient and economic way in accordance with policy. Planning is the activity concerned with making or formulating plans. You can leave that part out. Plans are really routes to objectives. Okay, you can stop taking notes now. I'm going to be reading the rest. Once the objectives of an enterprise have been set, planning is necessary to work out the how to achieve the objectives in practice within the framework of the policies formulated. although we are concerned here with the planning as a managerial function, it must not be overlooked that planning is necessary in everyday living. Even a shopping expedition might need some planning. What route to follow to get to the shops, what forms of transport to take, and when or where to change from one to another, the order in which to visit the shops. For instance, to avoid purchasing the heavy items first and having to carry them around all the other shops to be visited. Wouldn't you plan to buy the lighter things first and then buy the heaviest things last? That's usually a plan. So, and also how to get back home with the parcels and the bags of items brought on and so forth. So if you know you're going to Massy to do some serious shopping, you know that you will need transportation. Or if you're going alone, you know you will need to ask someone to help you. For this reason, you need to plan ahead, okay? So take this down, the next one. In business, comma, quote, top management, unquote, top management, for example, board of directors of a company, comma, board of directors of a company, comma, board of directors of a company, comma, is involved with long-term planning. Long-term planning. Long-term planning, which is often called strategic planning. Strategic planning. Let's read that line back. In business, top management, for example, board of directors of a company, is involved with long-term planning, which is often called strategic planning. Next line. You don't have to take this down, so I'm just going to read. That is concerned primarily with deciding what the objectives of the business should be in 2, 4, 5, or even 10 years ahead, and with the future policies of the business. Such planning is concerned mainly with the enterprise as a whole, rather than the individual departments or sections. So take this next part down. Senior management is involved with, or should I say is involved in tactical planning. Tactical is spelled T-A-C-T-I-C-A-L. Senior management is involved in tactical planning. That is planning how the overall strategies are to be achieved. I'll read that back. Senior management is involved with tactical planning, that is planning how the overall strategies are to be achieved. You do not need to take this next line down. I'm just going to read. This often entails devising and operating short-term plans for up to a year ahead. So whereas the first one for top management deals with the long-term planning for the business up to 10 years, The senior management will be involved in the tactical planning for the short-term plans for up to 1 year, okay, in a business. So the next one, please take this down. Other levels of management. Other levels of management. Other levels of management, including supervisors, are involved in very short-term activities planning. Very short-term activities planning. I'll read that back. Other levels of management, including supervisors, are involved in very short-term activities planning. I will read the rest. You don't have to write this down. That involves planning the day-to-day running of departments or sections and individual assignments. For example, how to meet a particular month's production quota, or deciding what each member of staff should be doing at any given time. Okay. Flexibility in planning. You do not have to take this down, so just listen. Flexibility in planning. Plans must be flexible so that they can quickly and easily be modified in light of events. For example, a business manager might have decided how his staff will cope whilst another member is on holiday and has planned the rearrangement of work. But the day after the implementation of the new plan, another staff falls ill. So he must now modify those plans. And the same can be said for your business plan. So for the individual, or for the lady who said that she already has a business plan, and in terms of finances, especially if COVID, should changes be made? The answer is yes. For the very circumstance that applies to you and your business, whatever aspect of your business department that is affected, changes must be made. It's called adjustments or modifications, okay? Much of such routine planning is an automatic process, requiring little conscious thought on the part of the manager and, of course, the business owner, because of his or her plans, and the decisions will be based largely on past experience or experiences by other business owners. Now let's look at planning in a practical business situation. On establishing a new enterprise or department, or on the introduction of a new range of products for sale or for manufacture, much planning is necessary. Let us return to our example of, let us look at an example of a bookshop and see what type of planning or decision making will be necessary by the business owner. Okay, so again, listen carefully. For one, the layout of the premises. Now we're talking about a bookstore. The layout of the premises secured will have to be planned so that there will be the correct amount of space allocated for each type or category of publication. Two, the decisions will have to be reached on the types and the sizes of the racks or the shelving to be used in the shop, which will contain the books for sale. Three, the layout of the store to hold the reserve stocks of the books has to be planned. Four, this number of staff needed to sell in the shop itself, plus any others who might be needed to maintain the stores, particularly if you have storerooms or warehouses. Five, if the books are to be sold wholesale in bulk or individually, okay? If it is to be sold wholesale, then you have to look at a delivery service. You may also have to hire a delivery person to drive and to make your deliveries. The next one, It will have to be decided what equipment you will need in order to sell the books, such as cash registers, computers, and what else will be required in the shop. What software will you be needing to make those sales? Also, the vital decisions on the publishers and or wholesalers from who the stocks of books will be ordered in terms of your suppliers. Who will be the ones supplying the books that you will be purchasing in bulk and then selling to your end user, which is your customer. Plans will also have to be made to combat possible pilfering, that is stealing or shoplifting. So yes, even though, and these are for persons who are going to be selling products in business places, even though you are catering to sell specific number of products based on what you produce, you also have to look at for the potential for stealing or theft of your products, because once something is stolen, you can't get it back. That's a loss to your business, okay? Decisions will also have to be made on what type of advertising or marketing that you will be using to promote the sale of your products. What methods will you use, okay? Also, what types of accessories will this bookstore need? As in addition to the books. Because of course, when you go to Digicel or Flow, you no longer just see phones. Or should I say, when you go to Digicel or Flow, you know that they're providing a service, but they also have products, they have phones, they have tablets, they have this, they have that. So they want to entice you with other things. And also they will have phone cases, they will have holders, they will have this, they will have that, just added accessories to get you to buy them, okay? So these are also things you would have to look at when planning for your business. If you're planning to sell products, what other accessories do you plan to sell with your products? So these are questions that you would have to ask yourself and include that in your planning. Now, when you look at forecasting, forecasting is a type of plan called predetermined routes to achieve these objectives. And that's basically what a business plan is, because you have to forecast a lot of information, especially in terms of the financials, so that you can communicate to the lender or the person who's giving you the loan or the investor what you plan to do in order to make that money back, because they want to know how do you plan to make that money back. So you have to be able to communicate that, okay? So this is just an example of what you have to look at in terms of planning. That's in real life business situations, okay? Let's look at a footwear store. If you were someone who was opening a footwear store, can you give me 2 things that you would need to look at in terms of the layout of your business? 1, if you own a physical location, and 2, if you're doing it online. Can you give me 2 things you will need to plan for? Anyone?
Sorry, Michelle, can you repeat? You broke up for a while. I'm not sure if it's for me alone.
Okay, so the question is related to a footwear store. So we have 2 types of footwear stores. We have one, which is an actual brick and mortar, a business place you can walk into. And there's an e-commerce, one who sells online. So what 2 things in terms of planning would you need to consider for these 2 businesses? What 2 things you need to consider?
I guess for the e-commerce store, you have to look at advertising online.
Mm-hmm.
Well, setting up your website, and for the physical store, location-wise, type of employees, the size of your store.
Okay,
a few of them.
Okay, thank you very much, Fael. Yes, Emanuela?
I guess I was gonna say almost all what she said. For the brick and mortar, you would need to, in planning the location of the store, you'd need to find a location that has a lot of foot traffic, as well. That would be key, so you get more persons in. The size of the location as well. The amount of staffing that you would need based on the location. For the online store, you would have to plan whether or not you're having you're going to have to plan whether or not you will be selling online via a different website or your own website. So planning for the website would need to be done as well.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
the distribution center as well.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Hi. And Vernon said, what type of shoes and who you're selling to? So yes, these are very important questions because you need to know what type of shoes would you be communicating to your customers that you'll be selling? Men's shoes, women's shoes, leather shoes, fashion shoes, what type of shoes, right? And also something that's very, very important when you're looking at a brick and mortar, just as Emmanuel has said, you have to look for a place that has foot traffic. If you're in a place that is totally dead, will you make sales? Think about it. Will you make sales if you decide to rent or lease a space in a place where hardly anybody passes? Will anybody buy from you? I mean, persons may buy from you, but they just won't pay you, right? In terms of an online store, what would you need to look at in terms of trying to get your things sold? What would you need to focus on in terms of trying to get your product sold? Who can tell me?
The audience, type of audience.
Type of audience, but there's something that you need to do to reach your customers. Because if you're online, people have to know your store is online. So how would you let them know that you're online?
Okay.
What's that? I'm not hearing.
Market your product.
Marketing. So for an online store, you would say that a lot of effort and a budget would need to be put into the marketing component for that business, right? You would agree?
Yeah.
Right. So again, I would like you to look at each one of your businesses, okay? In a practical business situation. How many of you, by a raise of hands, plan to actually have brick and mortar stores, a business location? How many of you? By raise of hands. I see 1, 2, 3. You can use the raise hand feature on Zoom. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 of you, 8. Okay, so 8 of you either plan to or already have a brick and mortar. Now, when you are looking at the location, have you already decided on a location for your business? How many persons have already decided on a location? Raise of hands, please. How many of you have already decided on a location? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that location high traffic? Would you consider it to be high traffic? How many of you would consider it to be high traffic location that you have identified? Okay, same number of people. Thank you very much. Now, for those of you, how many of you will have your business online? By a raise of hands, how many of you would have your business online? When I say online, meaning that you do not plan to have a brick and mortar, you just want to do strictly online. How many of you? I see 1, 2, 3. Okay, so of the 3 of you, do you know that you will have to invest heavily in marketing? Do you know that you will need a website? And if in case you're not able to build one on your own, you need to hire somebody to create one for you. Or there are, several places that you can get free sites on, especially if you're doing e-commerce. It is easy to get that nowadays. But do you also know you have to find a way to collect your monies and to ensure that your products are delivered to your customers? Have you considered that and how it's going to be done? Have you considered that as yet? If you have not, then that also has to be part of your plan. Okay, you need to research how do you plan to get your products to your customers, especially if they're not walking into a store. How do you plan to get them out there? And how do you plan to collect those monies? What type of financial platform will you be using? Okay, very, very, very important questions. Okay, so at this point in time, we're going to go into our quiz. Group leaders, are you ready? Group leaders, are you ready?
We're ready. We're ready.
Awesome. Now, I am going to be sharing my screen. Group leaders, I will be giving you the pin in the individual chat. Please look at the chat for the pin. And you will get access to the quiz. Okay? The rest of you will be watching the screen. Please enter the pin as I put it there for you so you can access the quiz. Okay, so I sent it to Vernon, I sent it to Anita. Emanuela, I'm sending it to you now, so please look out for it. Okay, sent it to Emanuela. Yakima, I'm sending it to you next. Please put in this pin and wait for further instructions. Put in the pin and wait for further instructions. Okay, has everyone received the pin? Yes, everybody? Just want to make sure.
I have.
Okay. Has the game opened up for you?
Loading.
Loading, okay. So as I stated, everybody wrote the notes. So, and of course, some information I just read out to you and I explained it to you in some detail. In terms of asking for the nickname, you can put in your team name. So for the nickname, put in your team name. And that's for the team leaders. For the nickname, put in your team name. So I see here, so Vernon would be Empower, Siobhan would be the Esthers, Anita would be Power, Yakima would be Outliers, Emanuela would be Girl Planet. So these are the names you would be putting in. Okay, now just remember the rest of the team members, you can assist your team leaders, you can assist, but you have to do that using the chat. You cannot call out the answers, you cannot call it out. Use the chat to communicate with your team leader, okay? Yes, Vernon, I see a raised hand.
Okay, so I'm looking at the screen. It says you're in, see your nickname on screen, and at the bottom it says Empower. Is that where I'm supposed to be?
Okay. I'm going to share my screen now.
I'm still connecting. I don't understand what's going on.
Mine says Christine, you're in, see your nickname on screen is asking. And this, yeah.
Can everybody see the screen? So far I see Outliers, Power, Girls Planet, and Empower. So I am missing the Esthers. The Esthers you have not successfully got in as yet.
Connecting.
Connecting. Oh, okay.
Is it normal to take that long?
No, it's actually not.
I don't know, it just takes too long.
Can you try possibly refreshing the page and try again?
Yes, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
It's saying you're in. Do you want to see your name on the screen? It's ever since I entered, it's been saying that. I just want to know if that's what it's supposed to say.
I'm sorry, who's the one speaking now?
Yakima from the Outliers.
Can you see my screen, Yakima?
Yes, I can. Mhm.
Yeah, is your team name on the screen?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so that means you're in.
Yes, I know I'm in, but I just wanted to know if I'll be able to access the questions. But I guess as we go along, you'll let us know.
No, well, I haven't started the game as yet. I'm just waiting for one more person to get in.
Okay.
You know what? I think I'll make it a little bit more interesting. I think I will not permit any interaction with the team members. I think
What?
Sorry. Yvonne, is that you? You put
Yes,
in
I'm
the-
just. It says you're in, see your nickname on screen.
You put in the code as your team name?
No, I put in the code as the PIN and I logged in.
Yeah, it shows you put in the code as your team name.
How do I undo it?
No, it's okay. The important thing is that you're in. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna make it a little bit more interesting. So team leaders, you're kind of on your own here. I will not be permitting anybody to give anybody answers. So please avoid giving answers. Allow your team leaders, to stand on their own and to set the example for the rest of your members, okay? The rest of the members, you will each get a turn to do this, but this time we want your leaders to take the charge, okay? All right, so each question you have 20 seconds to respond. You only have 5 questions, okay? Only 5, and you have 20 seconds to respond. Okay, so let us see. Are we ready?
Ding, ding, ready.
Awesome. So, outliers, power, those planets, empower, the essence. This is your time to shine. Let's start. Listen to the questions. Planning entails. Okay, triangle red. Deciding how the predetermined objectives of a business should be achieved. The diamond, goals which an enterprise aims to achieve. The circle, the initial objectives and basic policies of an enterprise. Let's see, one person.
I didn't see what
Samuel,
it
was like sticking, so we're not getting
Yeah.
the.
It was sticking?
Yeah, and the
Yes.
music was too loud
Okay, so
over.
I will turn it down.
Please restart.
I will turn it down. Okay, what do you see on your screen? Are you able to see the questions and the responses?
No,
What shows? Just the shapes, right?
no, we don't see the shape. It says,
Nothing worth having come easy. You're in 5th place, tied with the outliers.
no, it says,
Nothing.
dig deep on the next one, you're on the podium. Time's up, that's what it says, yeah.
Okay, what I'm asking is when the question pops up, what do you see on the screen?
Well, it's just a
Four
question.
It's just
boxes.
right? Is it just the shapes that you're seeing?
Yes, just the shape.
Yes, just the shapes.
Right, so that is why I'm calling out the answers in relation to the shapes. So whatever one that sounds like the correct answer, you choose the shape to correspond with it. Okay, so I'm reading out the responses to you. I'm reading out the shapes. Okay, so you have to also listen.
I just am making these.
Remember, this is also on the screen, so you can actually see on the screen as well. Okay, so we're going to the next question. We're going to the next question. Okay, so the scoreboard says, Empower, you have 546 points so far. Okay, next. True or false? Once the objectives have been set, planning is necessary to work out how to achieve. True or false? Once the objectives have been set, planning is necessary to work out how to achieve these objectives. Is that true or false?
It's true, but which one of the boxes?
Two true, red, false. Scoreboard shows Empower, you're in the lead. Power is second, Girls Planet third, Outliers fourth. Siobhan's team, you're trailing behind. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, in business, Dash is involved mainly with the long-term planning. Triangle, senior management. Circle, other levels of management. Diamond, top management. Square, employees. Let's see the scoreboard. Empower is in the lead. Outliers is in second place. Not to worry, ladies. This is just a trial. So if in case there are any, things that you want to give feedback on to improve it the next time, that will be done. Not to worry. This is the first time for this. Next question. What must be considered when planning in a practical business situation? Triangle, internet access. Circle, a building. Diamond, profits. Square, the layout of the premises. What must be considered when planning in a situation? Triangle, internet access. Circle, a building. Diamond, profits. Square, the layout of the premises. Okay, Outliers is in the lead. Next question. Planning is done only at the beginning of a business. Is that true or false? Diamond, true. Triangle, false. Planning is done only at the beginning of a business. Diamond, true. Triangle, false. Okay, so the podium shows Girls Planet. Third place. Second place, we have Empower. And first place, we have the Outliers. Okay, ladies, can you see the screen, the scores?
Yes, Miss, we can.
Okay, so can I get your feedback on this particular game?
For the first
Dinner
question, I
time.
was looking at your screen and not my own screen. So because I thought you were going to read it out and then the clock would start at 20 seconds. So hence the glitch with the first question on.
Okay, say that a bit louder, Yakima.
I said for the first question, when we first began, I was looking at your screen because I was trying to understand, okay, how do we play the game? And then, so that was the glitch with my group, with my team.
Okay, understood. Can I get some feedback from someone else? What do you think about the game? Any improvements that can be made?
Well, with the interface of the game, with the first question, it just froze entirely. So guess that needs a little bit of tuning, whatnot.
Okay, so it definitely looks like, would you think that more timing would be needed in between questions?
Not necessarily. I think the timing is fine. It's 20 seconds, right?
Yes, it's 20 seconds, yeah. But in terms of the it actually freezing, perhaps if you've been given more time to allow it to unfreeze and give you time to respond to the question, which is what I was asking, is the timing.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, so Vernon was saying that the screen was blurry for her in terms of when sharing, the screen was blurry. Any other feedback? Can I get some feedback from the other ladies who were playing the game? Because you were the one seeing the screen. So can I get some feedback from you?
Shivani, the same thing Yakima was saying, the timing before you can click the 20 minutes is the 20 seconds, sorry, is up already. So I thought that the 20 seconds would start when we're supposed to start answering, but it actually starts while you're asking the question. So before I can catch myself and say, okay, this is what it is. It's like, I'm seeing.
Well, actually, I read it before the timer started because it the question shows me the question first. So after I read it, then it opens up the screen and then the timer starts. So I read it before the timer starts.
And the freezing as well, that's what caught me. Is like, okay, like what's going on?
Okay, so that's definitely a device issue. It's definitely a device issue. It's not the platform, because I use it on my devices and on the laptop as well, and it does not freeze when I use it. So it's definitely either device or connectivity issue.
I think what happened also that before I logged in, it was saying that the internet connection was very slow.
Oh, well, again,
Yes.
it was showing that, connecting, yeah, so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, can I get some feedback from Anita? Feedback from Anita, please.
Miss, it was just the timing.
The timing. Okay. All right. So what would you think would be a reasonable timing?
Mrs. Samuel?
Yes.
I'm not sure if it's the issue I have is that I learn visually. So even as you're calling the answers out, it's like I still need to see that it's written in front of me before I can actually grab the correct answer. So even though you're calling out, I still need to see it. So that also keeps me back like, okay, so what did she just say? What? And I'm looking at the screen thinking I'm seeing the answers, but I learned visually, so I have to look and then I read and then I understand.
Okay.
That was one of my issues.
Okay, understood. Understood. I see your hand raised, Yakima.
Yes, Miss, I was asking, is there a way to see the timer go? As in you see when it actually started and you see the seconds countdown? I'm not sure if I missed it, but I didn't see it on the screen.
It shows on my screen when I share it.
Okay.
Because everybody else who is not in the game, who is not actually playing the game, they're able to see the timer. So that's why I share my screen so that everybody can see both the questions, the answers, and the timer. Okay, so this is just a sample of, a little pop quiz that I would give at the end of a class. And each person will take a turn representing the team to answer the question. So since these 5 ladies very bravely went, so next time is going to be 5 different ladies, one from each member of the team. You'll be going next. So please be prepared for that. I will let you know when that will happen. And of course, I will take your feedback into consideration to make the adjustments. Okay? All right, so in terms of what's next, the next item on the agenda, or should I say the next module that you would need to do in Dream Builder is making your dream. Or make your dream. That is the module you need to complete. In that module, you will identify the type of business you want to start, or if it is you're already in business, the type of business that you want to grow. Okay. You will also decide whether you want to do a product-based business or a service-based business or a combination of product and service. You'll also be guided through all of the steps and activities required to make your product or deliver your service. Okay, so you will complete Make Your Dream in Dream Builder. Okay, in terms of the corresponding assignment, there is a corresponding assignment for Making Your Dream. There are 2 of them. There's, of course, the discussion assignment, where you'd have to talk about what you've learned after completing that module. And secondly, there is a Planning and Making Your Dream business model assignment. So please take your time to complete this one. There's a video that is there for you to watch. Please watch it in its entirety so that you can fully understand what it is explaining, and then you move on to completing the assignment. Please note that this assignment is due on the 21st, no later than 11 p.m. Or should I say, it must be submitted no later than 11 p.m. on September 21st. Okay, as you know, anything after that, 0. So please do not wait last minute to do your assignments. I have to be repeating that every single class. Do not wait last minute to complete your assignments. Okay, finally, we have ELS. On Monday, God willing. ELS is on the 20th. That is from 8 p.m. I, of course, will be posting the information about our next speaker who will be joining us on Monday. So you all would need to be in attendance. That is from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. We will be having our ELS speaker. The link will be shared with you in Canvas. So please ensure that you are on time for that session. Because it is an engagement activity, the speaker will be actively engaging with you, so you must be present for that. It is also a session where other ladies, that is the past alumni, are also invited to attend. Also, our partners can attend those sessions as well, but you ladies will be the ones participating. Okay. Does anybody have any questions before we end?
Yes, Miss, can you go over the meaning of forecasting?
The,
meaning of forecasting.
oh, these are predetermined plans or future planning. In other words, you are saying what will be accomplished. So you're forecasting that the business will make or potentially make a certain amount of money based on certain things or certain factors that you have compiled and put into your business plan. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
And this is information that, of course, investors would need to know about the business, but you will get to know what these are as you move through the course. Okay, any other questions? No? Okay, ladies, well, we have come to the end of our class for this evening. Let us pray to close. Before we do that, let me just end the recording.